Hola, this is la señora Morales. I wanted to talk to you about the book. All right, on the side it says lección. That means lesson. We already talked about these cognates in the class. A lot of the words are going to sound the same or spell the same in English or in Spanish. So anyway, this is lección. May not necessarily sound exactly the same, but it means lesson. Number one is la carta. And la carta, as y'all watching the video, it is the letter. We're on page 4, and on the bottom it tells you, there's a little asterisk here. On the bottom it tells you the letter. And these are pictures for you to kind of get accustomed to who the people are as you watch the movie. We already know that this is Don Fernando. I believe this is Ramon. Good grief. And that's the letter that he got from somebody. And you'll find out later from who. All right. So just an overview right quick. The pages are on the top. It says, it's marked. This is preparación, preparation. And that says cinco, number 5, page number 5. And we already did this, but I'm going over this again for just in case. So you're going to be previewing. Usually this page right here, this section is what you would do before you watch the video. So you would read this, okay, and see what it tells you. And then here, it's just an activity for you to have an idea. Like in this case, it was asking you, where do you think the first episode of Destino will take place? If you'd never watched the video before, you have no idea, but you would just guess. It's basically just to get you to start thinking about the stuff. Same thing here on Página 6, Actividad B. What do you think the principal setting will be? And then they give you, answers that you may think. It doesn't mean anything's going to be right or wrong. You're just guessing at this point. Once you do this, then they want you to finish watching the video. What I am going to definitely recommend for y'all to do before you even get to watching the video is flip all the way to the end of this particular chapter. In this case, chapter 1, this is lección 1 la carta. Once you see it says vocabulario, I would like for you to go over these words. Just look them over, and I can tell them to you really quickly right now. But read them and look them over so that when you watch the video, you can start trying to see if you can hear these words, okay? So we're going to page 10, and the vocabulary, el vocabulario, okay, is las personas. I did this in class. That's people. La abogada, lawyer. El doctor is a doctor. El hombre, man. La mujer, woman. El patriarca, patriarch, male, head of the family. Los lugares is places. La hacienda, H is silent, so you'd skip it and you just go to the next letter. Hacienda, it's an estate, or hacienda like you hear it in English. Las cosas means things. La carta is letter. They're going to be mentioning that a lot in the movie. Los conceptos is a cognate, it's concepts. La historia is a story or history. Los verbos, the verbs. Es means is. Son, is are. Tiene is he, she has. Vive, he or she lives. La palabra adicionales, that means additional words. Las palabras adicionales is additional words. ¿Quién is who. De is of or from. En is in. Muy is very, like muy bien, very good. No, same thing in Spanish and English, no. Para is for. Sí, with the accent, is yes. También means also, and Y in Spanish is y, and that means and, okay? So these are the words, palabras del texto. Palabras del texto means words in the text, okay? Textbook. These words are used in the headings in the textbook and in the structure of the Destinos material. Be sure that you understand their meaning. You're going to see these all throughout all the chapters, so you got to see what these mean. So, la actividad is activity. El desafío is challenge. El desafío. El episodio is episode, el episodio. La gramática is grammar. La gramática. Excuse me. Sorry, I have a cold. El idioma, meaning it's the language, and then the actual language is español, which is Spanish. El idioma. Español, okay? La lección is lesson. La lección. El modelo. The same thing it looks in English is model. The model. El objetivo. El objetivo is objective. La preparación. La preparación is preparation. El tema is the theme, the topic. El vocabulario. It's vocabulary. So I'm going to say el tema again. El tema is a theme or a topic. El vocabulario is vocabulary. Excuse me. Buena is good. Buena. Memoria is a good memory. And cierto y falso. Cierto means true. Falso means false. Cierto, falso, true or false. This is a question. Tienes, that means do you have? Tienes. Tienes. And un poco de is a bit of. So get used to seeing these. You're going to be seeing them throughout the whole book for Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. All right, so I just want to go over that. If I didn't go over that clearly in class, I hope that this will help you. I'm going to go back to, I don't know, you could pause this. Good grief. So once you do la preparación, that's what you would read before you watch the video at home. My understanding is everybody is able to watch the videos online. So you can just go to Destinos, I think it is, or learners.org. I'll put a link, but you'll be able to find it on Destinos, and then you can find whatever lesson you're looking for, the chapter of the episode, and then you can just find it and watch it. All right, so after viewing, okay, this is number 2, and this is part of that thing they just showed you back here. ¿Tienes buena memoria? Sientes es buena, good memoria, memory, a good memory, okay? It's asking you, ¿tienes? Do you have a good memory? And then it's going and repeating this section of the textbook. You will review important information from the episode that you just watched. So here it's asking, ¿quiénes son? And they're telling you in English, who are they? ¿Quiénes son? Now that you watch episode 1, they want you to look at these photos, match them up with the brief description, and as you do this activity, you'll be reading brief, relatively easy sentences in Spanish. Remember, I don't know if I went over cognates. I did do this in class, but let me see if I have. A cognate would be like something like radio. I wasn't fitting to write this out, but give me a minute. A cognate would be like, oh, this is weird writing like this. Radio would be radio in Spanish, or like celebración. Forgive me if I spelled that wrong, but celebración, I don't know if it's with an S or a C, but I can look that up. But that is a celebration, or you can say like my goodness, idea, and in English it's idea. So, oh Lord, this is hard to tape, and I'm sorry, I don't really do these things. So, all right. So that's kind of the gist of it. So a lot of words that are in Spanish, when you're reading it, especially, you can see that they look a lot like the ones in English. So that's what cognates are. And if you want, just look them up online and you can see a couple examples and it'll help you out. Yes, so here we go. Raquel es abogada. Vive, that means she lives in Los Angeles. So they're asking you which picture of these ABC is Raquel. And then Fernando es el paciente de Julio, el médico. That's this one. I'm sorry because I have the answers on there. I was trying not for you to see, but the second one is Fernando es el paciente de Julio, el médico. And you would pick which one that is. And then, es una persona muy misteriosa. And you would have to guess who that is and write it in. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. I don't know how to edit this stuff. I'm sorry. Can you pause this? I guess not. Okay. So, this part says, ¿Cómo se llama? What are their names? And we went over this in class. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. We practiced with the when it says here, a ti te toca, that means that that means it's time for you to take a turn. You're going to be doing the work with somebody else in the classroom. So we just practiced a couple of them, like, let's see what it says. When your partner answers, indicate si es cierto, no. But I'm so sorry, forgive me. So, ¿cómo se llama? And then you would say, el doctor de Don Fernando. So, while watching the movie, you would have to know who Don Fernando doctor is. And then you would say, oh, el doctor de Don Fernando se llama Julio. I think it's Julio. Sorry. I had the answers written on my book, and I don't have that particular book with me right now. Oh, God, help me. Jesus, help me. All right. Let's see. All right. This was another activity that we went over. It's a review that we do at the end. It contains a lot of the information about the characters in Destino. So we did get to watch it after a long time figuring out the TV. Thank you, Miss McBride, for figuring that out. Señora McBride, excuse me. All right, so el nombre, that means the name, completo de Raquel is, and you have to pick which one. Raquel es cubano-americana or Mexico-americana. And then Raquel vive A en Los Angeles or B en Miami. So you would check it. All you got to do is rewind the tape and listen to what she says. And you'll see the answer. Okay, so vocabulario means vocabulary del tema. Remember, that's one of your words. Tema is topic. So it's the topic of the vocabulary topic. Okay, you could read that, and it's going to tell you about el vocabulario de tema. Okay, I had some of the kids read this in class. This is basically talking about the cognates. Like it says here, sometimes cognates exist because one language has borrowed words from the other. English has acquired many words from Spanish, such as patio, rodeo, canyon. Because in Spanish, patio is patio, rodeo is rodeo, and cañón is for that in Spanish. So another word, Spanish has acquired words from English. So this word, automobile, what does it look like? It looks like automobile. It's automobile, computadora, computer, computadora, radio, is for radio. So you continue to read that, and these are more cognates. This is some of the important words you have heard and used so far in lesson 1 are cognates and some are not, okay? So this is just to help you to see which ones are cognates and not cognates. So read the following sentences about episode 1 and then indicate which category the highlighted words belong to. All right, so es un lugar, that means it's a place. That's a concept, what they're talking about, this category. B is es un concepto. That means it's a concept. See how it says concepto, concept. Es una cosa. That means a thing. It is a thing. Or es una persona. It is a person. All right. So here's the model. La gavia es una hacienda. So the word that's in bold is what they want you to figure out which is one of these. And in this case, the hacienda, if you paid attention, la gavia is la hacienda, and la gavia is a place where they live. So this is un lugar. That's a place, okay? So see how it says here, una historia? You have to figure out which one of these go with that. El patriarca, which one of these go with that. Raquel es abogada, which one of them would go with that. Mujer, that means woman. Raquel es mujer, Mercedes es mujer también. Don Fernando es hombre. Hombre means man. Ramón es hombre también. That means Raymond, Ramón is a man also. Don Fernando tiene una carta. Una carta is what you got to figure out what that is. En la carta hay un secreto. And then, un secreto, what is it out of these? And that's what you would fill out. All right, un poco de gramática. So now we're on página 9. Okay, so expressing is and are. In this lesson, you've heard and seen that the Spanish equivalents of English is and are is es and son. We didn't get to go too much in detail, and I wanted to go over that with that, but here are some examples. Mi historia es muy importante. Mi historia, my history, is muy importante, is very important para la familia Castillo. Juan es profesor de literatura. Juan is a literature professor. Dos personas en esta historia. Two people in the story son importantes. They're very important. Remember, they talk about chapter 1. Capítulo 1, lesson 1. All right. Identify the following person, places, and things in as many ways as you can using es or son. Okay? Several answers are possible answers. Let me see. Be alert to S endings, which often signal plurality, more than one. So in Spanish, just as they do in English, the word no will make your answers negative. All right, so you can say mi padre, which means my father, but if you say mis padres, that means my parents, okay? El profesor, that means the teacher, the professor. La profesora, that's a male teacher. La profesora is a female teacher, de español. Mi universidad, my university, my college. Mi amigos, friends. Mi actores favoritos, mis clases. My favorite actors. See, actores, favoritos, favorite. Mi clase, my class. Mi perro or gato. They tell you right there, dog and cat. Mis políticos, politicians, your favorite ones, favoritos. And then these are the adjectives, adjetivos, inteligente, inteligentes. So what they were telling you about the alert to the S ending, this will make it down here. If you talk about one person, inteligente, you would say, él es inteligente. He is intelligent. But if you're talking about a couple people, say the boys are intelligent. Ellos son inteligentes. So you would add the S to that. Muy grande or muy grandes. Interesante, interesantes. Joven, jóvenes. Especial, especiales. Difícil, difíciles. So you could say something's hard or something's, difficult. So that's, like I said, they're making it plural. Liberal, liberal, liberales, liberals. Conservador or conservador, conservative or conservadores, conservatives. Bilingüe, that means bilingual, or bilingües, like they are bilingual. Amable, meaning they lovable, or amables, that they're all lovable. A certain group is lovable. Imposible, it's impossible. Imposibles de entender, impossible to understand. Oh dear. So then you'll come to the conclusion. They ask you some questions for you to practice. And I already went over the vocab. I didn't tell anybody to look over these maps, but you should check them out because this is where we're going to be looking out. I'm learning where these people are found. And this will tell you, like these different maps will tell you where we're going to be looking at. Okay, this one's, America, Mexico, You're going to be seeing Central America, El Caribe, okay, Mexico, América Central, that's Central America, y El Caribe, all up in here, because we are going to be going in these places, so that's why they want you to know. I don't think I really need to go through all these maps, but just go over it real quick. España, because we'll be visiting there in the video. On página, I don't even know what page it is, it's not marked. This one is América del Sur. América del Sur. That means South America. And we'll be visiting there as you see as we progress in the video. Okay, I hope this was helpful. And if you have a question, just please call me or text me. Thank you. My students from my class, I mean.